This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.
Hey, what's happening, you guys? Welcome back to the Let's Go Win podcast. I've been chasing to have this guy down on the show for a while, and I'm excited because he brings a lot of energy and he's done a lot of cool stuff. Tommy Breedlove, the Wall Street Journal and USA Today best-selling author of the book Legendary and the founder of Legendary Life Movement, a movement that empowers driven people to be the pros in leadership, business, mindset, and their relationships. Tommy challenges high achievers to stop chasing the ghost of more and win and lean into the legendary leaders, spouses, and humans they were born to be. Brother, I mean, that is going right down my alley. I can't wait to hear what you got going. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
JM, I'm fired up to be here, my brother. And we had a great conversation off air. Let's go win, man. Let's go win.
Let's go win, man. Let's be legendary. Let's be legendary and win. I love the concept. So tell me, man, how did you get to writing this book, creating this movement? Is this something like out of the womb? You're like, man, I'm going to be legendary. I know what I'm doing. Or is this been an evolution for you?
It's been a complete evolution, and it's been one failure at a time, man. If I just want to open up, be transparent about all of this. And so the book fell out of me through a lot of recommendations. And let me start by telling you why we picked the word legendary. And if you were to ask me, is Tommy a legendary? I would laugh. No, it's an aspiration. What I love about that word though, man, is I can't say like in all this, Facebook and Instagram fabulous and LinkedIn success, if I start calling myself a legend, everybody laughs me off the stage. What I love about that word is it's given to us by our peers, society, our culture, our family, the people we serve, and either you're a good legend or a bad legend. And we wrote a playbook on how to be the leaders, men, women, husbands, spouses that we want to be. So that's where it came from. So let me give you my real 3-minute where I came from. Came from humble beginnings, good, solid, blue collar, hardworking, lower middle class neighborhood in South Atlanta. At a very young age. Unfortunately, I grew up in and around a lot of violence and abuse inside and out on the street. And I was supposed to be the first person to get out of my house and out of my neighborhood. I had all these scholarships to UGA, Miami, a few other places. And unfortunately, I became that violence and abuse at 18, committed a violent crime, brother. Looking at 7 years in prison. Luckily, for the grace of God, it was dropped down to 2 misdemeanors, man. But I did sentenced to 2 years, spent my 19th birthday incarcerated. I'm supposed to be the first person in university from my parents. Nope. Here I am in a jail cell at 19 years old, washing cars and toilets, and that wasn't very good. Cool thing happened. African-American gentleman stepped across racial bounds. He was in his 40s, first real male mentor that happened in my life. He said, the young blood, come a young blood. You're not going to become a part of this revolving door system. I see something in you. So with his guidance and the fact that I didn't want to go back to that neighborhood and that jail, went and worked in a nuclear waste container factory during the day, community college at night, ended up at the University of Georgia. And one thing I'm proud of, man, is I went from a jail cell to a company called Deloitte & Touche in 3 years, which I think now is one of the largest financial consulting firms in the world. Let's fast forward 15 years. There I am at the top of the game, corner office, shiny suit, cufflinks, watch, car, woman on my arm. And you just said, this dude looks like he's going somewhere. And I was. And it looked good on the outside, and I was just kicking ass. I was still that competitive guy who just worked and did it. But unfortunately, man, I never dealt with those insecurities, those voices in my head, that stuff I didn't even know it existed. And when the money, power, fame, status didn't light me up, man, I turned to think Wolf of Wall Street, the darkness, like just something to make me feel powerful, make me feel successful, make me feel good about myself. Because really I was coming across as this arrogant man. But what arrogance is just insecurity on steroids. And so that was my second kind of falling in life. I ended up in a ditch in downtown Atlanta, didn't know where my car was. And I'm like, man, I was probably doing some multi-million-dollar auditor deal a few weeks before. And I was like, how the hell do I get out of this? And so I just picked myself and dusted myself off and decided to invest in me. And I'm talking about my heart muscles, my mind muscles, and my soul muscles, and figure out why I'm acting out of my integrity zone. Why do I feel alone? Why do I feel scared? When I present to the world, I'm this big, bad, tough alpha. And in the background, I just feel like lost. And so I went on this journey, brother. And then I'm coming to the end here. And over that 3 years, I'll tell you the tangible results that happened in my career. Over that 3 years, by being me and leading within and leading myself, I went from junior partner to senior partner to international practice leader, became an owner of the company, and was elected to the board, one of the largest firms in the Southeast United States. My money doubled, my network 10X'd, won all these awards. And everybody says, now whoever this guy is, he's the real deal. But here's the intangible results that came is happiness, peace of mind, real confidence, not arrogant confidence. And I still work on this every day. So it's not like I got it figured out, but security, freedom, the sense of being who I am, and maybe caring a little bit less about what other people thought. And my marriage went from life support to the strongest it's ever been. And here's how the book came to be, man, is in my world of entrepreneurs, corporate executives, bankers, venture capitalists, that's the world I was in, right? We were in the M&A and financial consulting and audit business. And so they started reaching out to me for coffee, a beer, a walk. And I thought they wanted to network and do a deal together. And like, no, man, hey, I've seen you take this 180, brother, and you seem happy and you didn't give up your ambition and drive. How did you do it? And there I was at 39 years old, man, decided to walk away, sell my equity in the firm, resign my board seat, went and wrote a book and changed to dream, to teach. And like the things that I've been doing and practicing now for 12 years is how do you build a legendary life? How do we lead ourselves first? How do we stand with self-confidence in our own power without losing our integrity? And so, I'm a money is important guy. I'm not one of those go sit on the mountain kumbaya guys. I'm a business guy at heart, a money guy at heart. But I think we can find a way to do it without destroying our relationships and spending time where we need to be and reprioritizing. And so that's how Legendary came out to be. That's how the book came out to be. I'm just super thankful it has had commercial success. And that's how the Legendary Life movement with our retreats, our coaching, our masterminds, that's how it all came out to be, man, is that story.
Well, I love it because any legend I think of, so off the top of my head, I think of like Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan. I'm an athlete, so that's where I'm going to go. But it's not like it was always roses and it wasn't sunshine and rainbows. There's always adversity. And so incarceration, being in a ditch and not being fulfilled, I think people can get behind that and say, this guy is willing to be completely vulnerable. He's willing and giving permission to let people know this story. That's what a legend is. It's not looking a certain way. You found your purpose is what I hear, man. You're fulfilling and filling that bucket every single day. And that's what legendary is. That's amazing. I think everybody wants that. How do they find it, brother? Obviously, people are reaching out to you, but that's a huge leap of faith you took.
Huge,
so let's talk about that.
I think it comes, I think what more people need to do, and a lot of people are doing this now. I think people like me need to give other people the gift of going second. Is when we open up, and we're not here emotionally vomiting on you. We're not going into the details of all the nonsense and the feelings and all that. But when you give the gift of going second, that you see, okay, maybe I look up to this guy. This guy looked like he had it all. It doesn't matter if it's an athlete, an entertainer, a business person, or just somebody doing something cool. When that person speaks up and said, this has been a lot of hard work. I don't have it all figured out. This is what it looked like. And we share wisdom, not advice. The wisdom is, here's what I did. Here's what the consequences of that. Here's what I'm doing now. And here's what it looks like now. You can choose to do that or not. Because I think people think they're alone. And we don't all have it figured out. Relationships are hard. Spouses are hard. Kids are hard. Success is super hard. Business is hard. Life is hard. And, in this modern world of social media, which is just noise, we feel alone. We feel scared. We feel like we're the only one and everybody's LinkedIn successful. I think what me and a lot of people like me are doing is saying, no, man, I don't have it all figured. I'm no guru on the stage. I'm no sage on the stage. I'm not a therapist. I'm a business guy. And here's what we do. And here's how we go forward. And here's how we lead. And here's how we lead others. You want to walk hand in hand with me or not? And I think that's what helps people is when you stand next to them. You say, oh, yeah, brother, I relate to that. Or, yep, been there. Mm-hmm. And then what happens is it gets contagious because I think we as humans, we crave that connection. We crave authenticity without emotionally vomiting. And we crave being around independent people who maybe aren't close to us, who can give us advice or give us wisdom and lead with love and be present and get fully immersed for a few times a month and several times a year. I think people crave that. And I think I'm in the experience business, brother, and in the content business. And I think people are craving real conversation, real independent conversation, but also tools and solutions. All right, give me some basic, very easy executable things every day to help me lead myself a little better so I can lead and love others better. I think people feel alone and scared.
Yeah, it's such an interesting idea because obviously I heard mentorship with the gentleman that when you're in jail, I hear really surrounding yourself with amazing human beings and leading, but yet being willing to be led as well. Is that fair to say? And I know you do some of these executive leaderships or retreats, and you can explain that a little further, but it sounds like you're surrounding yourself by some kick-ass people that are driven. And they're not saying they have all the answers, and you're not saying that either. But if we surround ourselves with each other, great things are going to come.
I mean, that sage advice has lived for thousands of years. That some modern people have made successful. You are the people you surround yourself with. If you want to see your future, look at the 5 people that's around you. If you hang out with 5 overweight people, you're going to be overweight. You hang out with 5 drunks, you're going to be drunk. You hang out with 5 seekers, growers, learners, people who want to be learners and not knowers, people who want to listen to what other people have to say, be open-minded and be fully immersed in growing and self-growth and self-development, because it's hard, man. This life is hard. And it's not if those things creep into our brain and heart, it's when. And so I've created a movement of independent people who get together twice a month, twice a year. I force people to go through a retreat first to go deep within themselves so they can lead themselves. And so both in my personal life, I have 3 rules, man, about who I hang out with. Do they make me happy? Or do they make me better? And those people a lot of times don't make me happy. Those are the people that kick me in the face on a regular basis. And by the way, I'm in the coaching business. I have a coach. I run masterminds. I'm in a mastermind. I mean, so I'm walking this walk, man. So it's not and the last one, are they net givers? Because I think people are unconscious, man, and our self-interest, whether we agree it or not, we really have our survival in us is big, and that's self-interest. But if we can do 51% of giving and connecting and seeking and helping and serving, I think that comes back to us tenfold. And so for me, it's not only in my personal life and in your spouse and in your friendships, you are the 5 people you associate with. And what I get the honor of, whether it's in a mastermind or in our community or at a retreat or a conference or one-on-one, brother, I get to talk in the mirror all day. I'm like, Tommy, you ain't doing that. This is where you're struggling. You're giving some sage ass wisdom there, but brother, are you that dude behind closed doors? And then I'll go journal on it, right? I'll go meditate on it. I'll go pray on it. So it's an honor to be surrounded by people who want to grow, who are seekers, who want to lead, and who want to be better. And I think that's what the world needs. And I think we need movement. Even if I'm strawberry and you need chocolate, go get chocolate, but invest in yourself, man. So I get off my soapbox because I'm passionate about this stuff.
Brother, you stay on that soapbox because I'm right there with you. You said something really specific, and that was 51%. You didn't say that haphazardly. Mm-hmm. Clearly, you put some thought behind that. And I want to dive into these other topics as well. But I've got to know, man, why 51? Obviously, 50-50, we know what that is, but you went that 1 extra percent. Tell me more about that.
So to me, we've got to be on the side of net giving. We've got to know when to receive. We got to know when to step back and invest in ourselves. We got to know when to step back. To me, every single day, we got to start with us. That's not selfish. It's selfless. And so for us, making our heart muscles, our mind muscles, our soul muscles, and our body muscles strong every day so that we can go lead and love others because we're leading and loving ourselves. But I do believe this with every ounce of my DNA, brother. I believe it that every human being, whether they're lost or they're upset or they're angry or they're sad or they're depressed or they're in a bad deal right now, that we all have a purpose on this earth, and our purpose changes during the season of life. And for us to be fulfilled and happy, whether in our career or not, we've got to be a net giver. We got to serve others. We're put on this earth to make impact, to leave this planet and our humans a little bit better than we found it. And so we got to keep that balance though, because we got to live in ourselves and protect ourselves and have some fun. But we got to serve just a little bit more. It's the golden rule, right? Just to serve a little bit more. So that 51-49 seems doable, as opposed, if you start doing 90-10, you're a martyr. You start doing 10-90, you're a taker. My friend Chris Tuff calls it an ask hole. All they do is ask, and take, and take, and take. ASK hole, ask hole. He's got a great book coming out on that. He's one of my best friends. So there's a spectrum, right? But if we can do 51-49, which to me seems reasonable. If you read all the great spiritual traditions, whatever that means to you, or, whatever, I think if we can just live on the giving side as opposed to the receiving side, I think we'll be I think we'll leave this life a little bit better than we found it.
Well, and the universe will tell you, right? If you're doing 90-10 or 10-90,
it'll kick you in the face
every time, brother. And you know it. That was probably your second career, right? When you weren't fulfilled, that's the way that works. So let me ask you this, because I love what you said. We're on this earth for a purpose. We're on this earth to serve. But I think if I'm listening to this, if I haven't found my purpose, and you said journal, meditate, and pray, and I have to imagine that's your process. But if I'm listening to this,
read.
Okay. And I'm looking at the books behind you and I'm salivating a little bit. But how do I find my purpose? Like, are there some tangible ways? Obviously, you challenge high achievers to stop chasing the ghost of more and win and lean into the legendary leaders they are. Talk about that, brother, because I think everybody's searching for that.
I love it. And great question. The first thing I want to say is this, and this is going to punch people in the face. If you have children and or your spouse, they are not your purpose. I want everyone to hear that. If you think they are, then you wonder why I'm unfulfilled, or when they move out, like, why am I lost? That is not, they are your responsibility. That is higher than purpose, much higher. That is, love them, lead them, discipline them, hold them accountable, and hopefully help them to go find their person and be functioning society, and with your spouse. So I want to say that first. Your purpose is where you serve. It's where you give your God-given talents and things you enjoy to make this world, your company, a community, or just one person, or yourself. Yourself might be your purpose for a little bit until you get stronger. It's where you serve and make this world a little bit better, because you can't serve others until you serve yourself. You can't love others till you love yourself. You can't respect others. So here's the tangible way to find it. If you find yourself lost or unfulfilled, or looking up the sky, thinking, man, why am I here? Or looking at a fire, man, you want to get deep, look at a fire, man. That is like the nature's TV. So here's the tangible things. I'm going to give you 3 things to help you find your purpose. Number 1, or what are your God-given talents? What are your superpowers? What are you really good at doing? Some people struggle with that question. If you don't know the answer to that question, go ask a family member you trust, a friend you trust, a spouse you trust, or someone who cares about you. Ask 5 somebodies. What you'll notice is the similarities. Those are your superpowers, your God-given talents. That's number 1. If you don't know what they are, go ask people. They will tell you. They want to help you. People want to help you. And they love that question. Number 2 is you have to enjoy doing it. So I was good at financial engineering. I was good at valuation. I was good at buying and selling companies. I was good at devaluing companies. Didn't love doing it. Therefore, that's not going to be part of my purpose. So I left that world. You got to be good at it. You got to love to do it. Now, let me say this, though. If you say, well, I love cooking, but you burn popcorn, that's not going to be your purpose. So let's just be clear here. I mean, there's a difference. Like, I was a really good basketball player in my day. I can't have that a part of my purpose because I'm not good anymore. So first thing, God-given talents, what you're good at, your superpowers, ask your friends or list them out. What of those do you love doing? And here's the third leg of the stool. What pain, problem, or solution do you want to bring to a human, yourself, a community, a business, or an organization? If that's a hard question for you, I'm going to ask it a different way. And I know this is going to sound a little crass, but you'll see where I'm going in a minute. Think about the things that really piss you off. The flip side of that is your value systems. That's what you truly care about. The things that make you angry. Is it bullying? Is it entitlement? Is it victimhood? Is it, there's a bunch of things out there right now. Is it lying? Is it fakeness? Is it not personal accountability? What makes you angry? You know what makes me angry is people who don't take personal accountability for their future. Go solve that. It could be in yourself first, because remember, you got to serve yourself first before you go serve others. But what makes you angry? What change do you want to see in a person, a community, or an organization, or a business? Or how do you want to use your superpowers to make your community, a person, a business. I'm not talking macro. You can't go solve world hunger. You got to start small and think big. Raindrops make oceans. So where those three things intersect is your purpose. And it might take you, just sit down and do those things and write them all out, list them all out. And where those three things intersect, that's your purpose. And here's the last thing. If you can get paid to do it, hello, somehow I figured that one out.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, brother, because we talked about receiving, and this is the part that even myself, I've been challenged with this throughout when I left and found my purpose, which is let's go win. That receiving.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, it's
That's
one
so
of those
awesome.
things,
Let's
right?
go win. I like the let's,
Well, that's the thing. I'm a team guy, just like you. Like you said, we're kindred souls. I know you're like a brother from another mother because literally basketball, that was my passion. That's what I grew up doing. That's what if I could do that today, still professionally at 43, almost 44, I'd do it. But I'm not Tom Brady, unfortunately, and that's not happening.
Very few are.
But if I can, dang it. But that business side of it, Tommy, how do you really learn to receive? And I think it is a learn. Maybe it's whether it's law of attraction, whether it's obviously doing actionable steps, as you've given us tons on this podcast. But how do people make that purpose into their business? They're good at it. They enjoy doing it, and they know the problem they're going to solve. That the things that piss them off, they know the opposite, what they want. How do they get paid for it?
It depends on whether you want to stay in your business or not. And here's a little gold that I learned from a gentleman named James Victor. I'm not going to say it the way he says it, but I'm going to tell you, it starts with an intention, a desire, a deep-rooted thing that I want to change or make change. Intention. Some call it a goal, but I have the intention. So that would be the law of attraction. I'm going to think on it. I'm going to journal on it. I'm going to meditate on it. I'm going to pray on whatever your thing is. I'm going to set an intention to do this particular thing. The second thing is you got to take action. You can't sit in your dining room and think about earning $1 million and go get them. It ain't going to happen. You got to go get it. And so it's intention and action. So intention without action and action without intention is meaningless. Action without intention is going a long way, but going the wrong way. And so how do people start? You start with an intention. Start small, think big. And if you can't just walk out of your career for responsibilities or financial concerns, you can start by making an impact there. Or you can start by making an impact outside of there, maybe once a week, maybe once a night, maybe it's one phone call, one email, or maybe it's drawing up a future business plan. But eventually you got to start small, see if you can make change within your organization or get them on board with your purpose. And if not, start taking action, small actions. Maybe it's saving and getting financially prepared or getting yourself prepared or learning skills to go find an organization or start one that believes in what you believe. Because it's not only your purpose, it's your core values. And if you're in a company that over time you set these intentions and you take action, that they're just not buying into it, they're probably not value aligned with you. Doesn't make them bad people, makes them different than you, and you'll never be fulfilled in that company. Doesn't matter what they pay you. Trust me, I know this. Doesn't matter what they pay you, you'll still be unfulfilled. So start small, think big, work in your own organization or your family or in your community, out at night or in the business, and start taking actions to either go somewhere else or start your own. That's what I would tell people. But you've got to take action, and you've got to take continued action, and you got to surround yourself with people who believe in what you're doing. When I left the financial world, man, and then I'll get off my soapbox, I lost half my network. My fellow board members sent me emails like, you're an idiot. You're going to be the highest earner. You hear that carrot dangling in front of my face. You're young. You're the youngest partner we've ever had. Blah, blah, blah. That's not the people I needed in my life. So you got to surround yourself with people who believe in what you're doing and where you're going and have your back while you get there. So that's important too.
Yeah. And I want to talk on this point because there's an aspect of faith, perseverance, vision, perhaps, because I think back to you as the 18-year-old in jail. Okay. It's not like it was waking up and you're like, yes, I get to go in my cell. And this is like, it wasn't great. It wasn't ideal. And I'm sure when you started Legendary, there were moments where you're like, I have to stay focused. I have to keep this faith. Talk to me about that mindset. And I know you have this topic on mindset mastery, which I want to get to. Maybe this is a part of it. How do you keep that fire stoked and really know that I'm on the correct path?
And so the reason I ended up in financial consulting, public accounting, in that world is because I thought money, success, and power would make me happy. Those things are all very important, especially if you want to make impact. In order to make massive impact, you got to have those three things. So I'm one of those. I am a firm believer in those. But here's the problem, and this, I'm going to answer your question. Here's the problem. If you are insecure, angry, depressed, judgmental, or just an ass, that money is going to magnify that 100x. See Tommy Breedlove at 37 years old. Or if you have self-confidence, self-respect, courage, love, empathy, compassion, if you want to make a difference and impact in the world, that money, power, success will magnify that 10x. The reason I tell you that is you can take intention and actions, but if you're not working on the inner game, this is the stuff I beat from the rooftops. If you're not working on your self-confidence, your self-esteem, confidence is about doing the reps. If you shoot enough baskets, you're going to start making them. Self-esteem is cultivated, just like going to the gym and working on your muscles. You got to work on that heart muscle and mind muscle. You got to do intention setting. You got to do journaling. You got to do affirmations. You got to surround yourself with positive goodness noise that gives you wisdom, makes you better, and gives you skills. Books, podcasts, good documentaries. You got to invest in yourself first. It's the number one investment you'll ever make. And mastering your mindset, you'll never get there. I'm certainly not what that looks like. The Dalai Lama might be there. He actually might. Eckhart Tolle might be there. But, I got to function in this world. They function somewhere else. I got to function here. And so that's okay. There's no judgment. I look up to them. But at the end of the day, whether it's gratitude practices, surround yourself with the right people, reading things that make you better or people that you look up to, journaling, you name, there's 1,000 different tools out there. You're never going to make the impact or seek that happiness or fulfillment. Remember, happiness is fleeting, man. But you got to work on that inner game, soul muscles, your mind muscles, and heart muscles. And just as important, your physical muscles, because that's the container, right? If that's off, you're off. And so I think before you start this journey or along this journey, you got to make some daily habits, maybe take a negative thing away. Are you watching Netflix 4 hours a night? Well, that ain't going to do anything for anybody. You drinking that fifth beer? No, maybe drink 3 beers. Take something negative out of your life and then add a small positive in to start feeling better, more confident, more courageous, more loving, more respecting of yourself so that you can go out and love and respect others. And by the way, immediately what I'm talking about. It's a feeling. Do you feel good or do you feel bad? Do you feel angry or do you feel love? Do you feel sad? Do you feel fear? Or do you feel confidence and courage? And do you want to go take the hill? If you don't want to go take the hill, you got to work on your inner game because no one's coming to save you. There is no magic pill and you must participate in your own rescue.
Man, you just talked about, instead of radical sweeping changes, I've really been stuck on this word of upgrade. And I'll just put it out there, guys. The next book, Upgrade, will be in the title. That is happening because Tommy just said, look, you might have 3 beers, just don't have the 5th or 6th or 12th or whatever that one. Just making those incremental changes that can make, and I love what you said earlier, raindrops make oceans. Start small, think big. You're a one-line machine, brother. I have so many things down.
I read nonstop. That's all somebody else's. I read so much, I don't know whose it is.
You know what? And you don't need to, man, because you make it your own. And I want to ask though, because this will come out early 2022. When you sat down to really look at your goals, as everyone does, right? What am I doing this year? How am I going to go be fulfilled, be happy, accomplish these things? What does that look like for you, brother? Because I hear the heart, the mind, the soul, you're clearly working on that. The body is being taken care of, but there's some tangible things I know you're doing to really set yourself up to have a great year. And maybe it's not started at the year. Maybe you do it daily. What does that look like for you?
Well, we do it daily as a team and as humans. So I've got a partner in crime who does all this with me, Heather Breedlove. And every single day we meditate together. Every single day we read together. Every single day we listen to some daily like wisdom, for lack of a better word. Already done that today. I've already had my workout today. So it starts with me every single day. As a team, this could be a master class. So we set annual goals and then we reverse engineer them into quarters and then weeks. And I'm very laser ass focused. And so that's the problem with a lot of entrepreneurs is we love shiny things. Oh, real estate. Woo. Oh, an investment here. Woo. Oh, let's partner up. Woo. That's lack of focus. So the number one tangible thing is pick your one thing. And what are the three things to get to that one thing? And so we don't do revenue goals for our life. Every year, and we've already done it. We did it coming into the year. We set lifestyle goals. We set personal growth goals, how much money and where are my coaches, where am I investing our personal growth goals this year. I also invest heavily into my team. I'm trying to give you tangibles. So a part of our incentive package for our 10 team members is we will invest in you as long as you invest in you. Now we got to approve it. I don't want them going to some, sex expo. But if they want to go to a meditation or a mindfulness or a Buddhist or Christian or a business training or learn some skill, we're going to invest in it with them, at least half, sometimes more. And so for us, it's about how we meet, how we're intentional. I stay in my only 3 lanes. I'm really good at 3 things. I have people who hold me accountable to that. So every day I'm taking focused daily reverse engineered action. So let's say we want 100 new men and women into our Legendary Life program. Well, what does that look like the first quarter? Okay. That would be 25. Okay. What does that look like per week? And we can get them all in for what do we need to be doing? Oh, we need to be doing podcasts. We need to be generating content. We need to be connecting with other people. We need to be talking to our existing clients and talking about how can we be better? Who do you know that could need this work? And so I stay laser focused on that. So for me, it's about setting goals and having some fun though. I mean, you got to lighten up too, but personal goals, travel goals, growth goals, and business goals. And every single person on our team member is involved in this. Not one is excluded. And we help them with all of those things as well. So we take tactical actions every day. And then I could talk about this for 16 days. So I'm trying to be very quick and very specific. But I think Harvard came out with this, or some very, very, very nice school. I don't, some place that's expensive that a lot of smart people go. I think if you write your goals down, they're 90% more likely to happen if you write them down, not type them down, write them down, share them with somebody else. They're even more likely to happen. Now they're in the game with you. And then having accountability partners or a tribe to help you accomplish those and surrounding you with people who are going in the same direction. That's how it all happens. And you don't have to be as laser focused as us because we're still learning as we go. We're actually putting up systems, processes, and people right now to make it even easier and more seamless. And so we have words of the year. I'll give them to you last year. And these are the words of certain team members. Intention. I'm looking at, if you can see the video, I'm looking left because they're written on all these walls. Intention, balance, grace, and surrender. That was 4 of our team words. This year, I know their pause. I know their victory. I know their clarity. And these are some of the goals that are the members of our team. Like they want to get clear, laser. So to me, it's about focus. It's about action. It's about intention. It's about the daily steps. And don't get distracted by we live in a casino. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, text, email, ding, dang, dong, phone ringing, dog barking. No. If you can somewhat stay in your zone of brilliance for 3 or 4 hours a day and the things that you're really good at and the things that where you're going, you'll be super successful and super happy, by the way. I'll get off my soapbox.
Oh, brother,
we should do like 6 more shows on that.
Oh, I agree with you. I literally, you just mapped out a mastermind, but how often do you check in? It's a very simple question. How often are you checking in on these weekly, daily? I think you said weekly. Is it weekly?
Weekly. We have 2 team meetings. So actually we have 3, and there's different members of the team on these different meetings. Every Monday we have an administrative meeting. Where are we going? What do you need help with? Is this goal right? Is this goal wrong? Friday, we have our personal development meeting. So our whole team does some sort of personal development together. Right now, we're doing systems, process, and people. It's called Insane Productivity. And then at the end of the week, we celebrate the wins. we send out an email and sometimes a communication and sometimes a celebration. What team member kicked ass? Who exuded our core values? Where did we screw up this week? Who needs applause? What did we accomplish? We had this set of goals. So we got to celebrate the victories too, which takes us back, takes us present. And so I do that nightly. I don't want to overwhelm the audience. I also do that nightly. Like, how did I seize the day? And what could I have been better? Hey, I'm like you. Maybe I shouldn't have had that fourth whiskey. Hey, maybe 2 next time. So I also, it's an accountability thing and looking back on the day. So we have all these tool systems. We are pretty laser focused on where we're going and how we're going to get there.
That's awesome. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, because I'm looking at the bookshelf. You've mentioned several times we have books at our for us, whatever that is. Disposal is what I was going to say, but you never dispose of a book unless you're giving it to someone. But what are the 3 most profound, impactful books that you read that absolutely just shifted that mindset, created this legendary movement, because it's clearly been impactful for you? Share with the audience 3 that come off the top of your head.
I think the first one would be Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I've not only read that probably 8 times, I've probably worked it 3. It's a book that needs to be worked. And it's not just about, when he talks about rich, that's rich inside, rich outside, success inside, success outside. I think it's ancient wisdom. I think it's probably one of the best books ever written. The problem is me narrowed it down to 3 because it's probably, actually, you can't, those are them right there. Those are all of them right there that if anyone asks me what book I should read, I tell them all of those right there. I'm going to give you the next one just because I think it's so important that people know they're not alone and it helps them work on the inner game. It's called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. I think it's a fantastic book, and it's so hard to pick that third one. Can I say Legendary by Tommy Breedlove? No, I'm not going to do that.
Should. It's right there. I like it.
I would say because it's a combination of all these books. You know what? I'm gonna give some love to my mentor. I'm gonna give some real love here. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Give some love to my mentor right now, my coach. Give some love to him.
All 3 of those absolutely are impactful. I love it. A book written back in, I think, 26 or 29. Start there. And then Gay Hendricks, that is such a profound book. He's amazing. I got to ask you, just because I'm looking at the Bulldog, how you feeling, brother? This show will air. Let's see. What is your prediction? What is going to happen in this national title game? Because I don't know. Georgia looked fantastic except for one game.
And the only problem with that is we're playing that same team again. Here's what I like in the NFL, the NBA, college. It's hard to beat people twice. And it's hard to beat people twice. I am going to be at that game. It's Monday night as of we're recording this. I'm actually fly out to Indianapolis from Atlanta on Thursday. So I'm actually going to the game. I'm a glutton for punishment. I've been to all those narrow losses. I've been to all of them. So here's what I think. I think we've got more bullets in the gun than they do this year. We got the bigger army. The problem is they got the Oracle, man. They got MacArthur, George Patton, and Genghis Khan on the other sideline, man. So you're not going Napoleon. You're not out strategizing this guy. And so I hate that we're favorites yet again. I hate going into this game. I like that we're a whole lot less favorites. I really honestly think we're going to win it. I do. And I'm not one of those Georgia fans. I'm not one of those Herschel Walker since 1980 fans. I think I know this is a lot. We're going to clean up that defensive line. We're going to get to that quarterback. If that guy sits back there, he will pick us apart. You cannot let the best quarterback in college football pick you apart. They're injured on the wide receiver realm. That's going to help. I hate winning that game, but it's just a part of sports. People get injured. Next man up, and they got some dudes coming behind them, but they don't have quite that dude. So I think between that and the only unknown, brother, is does our quarterback come out and manage and win us the game and not lose us the game? But I think our defensive line is going to get to their guy and not allow him to just pick us apart like he did last time. And I think we got something for him this time.
Well, I'll be rooting for him. I mean, look, Bama's amazing, but go Dogs. And I hope
go Dogs,
I think
baby.
It's going to be a legendary game. I really do. I will use your book. It's going to be a legendary. It's going to be one for the books. Brother,
they are the two best teams in football this year, bar none.
Not even close. Like
bar none. Yep.
I wish they could play every other week. I mean, it would probably put you in the grave, but if they could play every other week, it would be fantastic.
And we are healthy. You know, taking all this other stuff out of it, our team physically right now, we got all our receiving core back. So we got our dudes. So this is carpe diem, man.
Well, knock on wood that let's stay healthy till Monday. It's going to be an incredible game. I can't wait to look back at this episode, and I hope you'll be smiling at the end. Well, you will either way. But what didn't I know enough to ask, brother? I'm going to give you that open forum where you're just like, JM, I got to leave your audience with this.
The only thing I would say is I want everybody to hear this, no matter where you are in life, if you've achieved some sort of financial success or you haven't, we all have our blind spots, our insecurities, our fears, and our worries. We all do. There's no one exempt from that. And we all struggle with time. We all want more time. And the first thing I want to say is you're not alone. And the second thing is know you're not alone and believe that. And third is, what are you going to do about it? And I want to say it again, participate in your own rescue. No politician's going to save you. It's not your buddy's job to save you. It's not God or the universe or whatever you believe's job to save you. That's why they give you choices. That's why we're the only animal with choices. We make choices. We don't live on instinct. We make choices. It's the only power you truly have. And are you going to choose to invest in yourself? Is it a book? Is it a podcast? Is it an action? Is it a mastermind? Is it a coach? What is it? Choose to do something a little bit different than you did yesterday, and choose to take something out of your life that you know immediately what that is and participate in your own rescue. That's what I would tell people to go out on.
Love it. I mean, it's tough to finish it any better than that. I love the word choice. Choose, choice. It's incredible. Speaking of choosing, I hope people choose to come find you, follow you. Where can they connect with you online, brother?
Yeah, totally. TommyBreedlove.com has everything that we do. That's pretty easy to remember. TommyBreedlove.com. Legendary, the book. If you don't read, I will read it to you. It's on Audible. So if I've got a little bit of shaky voice today, but if you don't mind my Southern accent, I will read it to you. It's in electronic. It's at all your favorite bookstores. Go find it. It's in the airports. Go check it out. It's step one. Or, if you want to go for, also we put goodness and tactics and life hacks and love out on the internet. We don't put any of that victim promoting and bullying shit. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if I can say that. Bullying
You're
stuff,
good, man.
Bullying stuff on the, so if you're looking for some real tips and tricks and hacks, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, it doesn't matter. Or if you're interested in coming to one of our retreats, our experiences, our conferences, or joining our community, man, please let us know. We're looking for like-minded, ambitious-driven people who want to lead themselves better so that they can lead others better. And so thank you for letting me share that, brother.
It was truly my pleasure. You guys, I hope you got as much out of this as I did. I literally have a page full of notes, which it's one liner after another, but they're profound. They're really impactful. I want you guys, if you're as inspired as I am, subscribe, share this with other people, get it out there. I want you to remember your mindset matters. Tommy, I appreciate you, brother. And I appreciate all you guys. Until next week.
JM, humbled, grateful. Let's go win, brother. Thank you for having me.
Go win, man. Let's be legendary. I love it. All right, you guys, talk to you next week. Thank you so much for listening. If this content is delivering value to you, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review us. That helps us build this community, and that is what we are all about. Building this community as big as we can, helping as many people as we can, and deliver as much value as possible. Be sure to head over to letsgowinpodcast.com for information on my coaching courses, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Let's Go Win 365. Let's go win and transcend in life.
This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.